Hello and welcome along and welcome back to our farm here on Haut-Beyleron. We have a lot of strawberries out again. So yeah, we sold off a whole load of strawberries last time. We have a whole load of strawberries now. We've got 46 litres actually in storage. I am going to switch it because strawberries tend to be the largest output. Because all of these are a little bit even. I'm actually going to switch to the lettuce and deactivate the strawberries so that we end up with fewer pallets coming out, because otherwise we're going to be forever just taking pallets and loading them up. So let's just see if we can get these in here. Should be possible to get these sideways in here. Yeah, like that. So then I can go and get rid of these later, and we'll get all these loaded up and sold. We also need to get some destoning done today. We've got quite a lot of stones across all of our fields. And so that is going to be something to do. And then we probably need to start looking at next year's crops, because we want to be getting in some crops this autumn if we can. We have a look in here and have a look at the calendar. We can see that we've still got enough time to get some wheat in and some barley. And if we're going to be getting some chickens fairly soon, I think getting some wheat in, some winter wheat in, is going to be a really good way to go. So I'll get these loaded up. We'll head off to sell them, and then we're going to go and grab ourselves a destoner and see if we can get all of these fields done today. Last set of strawberries on top. Try and get these nice and even. Not the greatest stacking in the world, but should still remain in place. There we go. And clip to the outside. That is not the best piece of stacking that I've ever done, but we are at least got those on there, and we should have it fairly easy now that we're just doing lettuces. Shouldn't be quite so many pallets coming out so quickly, although the lettuce ones are taller pallets. So where is the best place for us to get these sold today? Let's go and have a look at strawberries. There we go. Best place for strawberries today is still Le Jardin de Fermier farm shop. So we'll head down there and we'll get these sold before we take our tractor down to the shop. Been a little bit of fun getting down here, because this stack of strawberries that we've got on here is really quite top heavy. So every corner I've had the possibility that I'm going to tip over. And you can see this is probably not the safest setup here. Probably also, I'm saying probably a lot, it's going to be worth getting a freezer truck for the back of here and just hooking that up on the back. 554 euros in total for that lot. Not very much, but still a nice amount. Just keeps things ticking over. So I'm going to take this back up to my farmyard now. We'll drop the truck off, and then we're going to go and take our tractor down to the shop and switch ourselves into getting some rock picking done. Ready for doing some nice seeding. Maybe today, maybe next time. We'll see how long it takes us to rock pick our 2 fields. Now, as always down here at the shop, it's worth us seeing if there is anything in the sales that have cropped up today that are going to be worth us buying. Now, I've only got 1,900, but we can borrow more money if we need to. Let's have a look and see what's on sale. So we've got the Fiat, actually. 1,300 DT is on sale. That's actually quite good. And we also have a Maratona. What is that? Is that a... I think that is a power harrow. So that's a nice little price for that. But to be perfectly honest, neither of those are things we overly need right now. So let's have a look at the rock pickers, the stone pickers. We've got 52,000 for the Scorpio. 120 horsepower, takes 5.5 meters. So this will get us the job done quicker. It can carry 2,000 liters. whereas this can carry 3,000 litres, but has a much smaller capacity, or much smaller working width. I think to get this done quickly, we're going to use the Scorpio. So let's customize that. At least that is going to cost more money than we have. So we're going to have to go out here and go to the bank. And under here, we should be able to borrow another 5,000. So we're 222,500 into debt at the moment. But we will get a little bit of money back for this. I don't know how much. Where have my stone pickers gone? There we go. We were in the right place. Let's lease this for 2,625. Yes, please. And one thing I do want to check, because I know it's true of Erlengrad, is that do we have a rock picker or a rock crusher on here? I think there is one somewhere. Debris crusher. So yeah, there we go. So we can take them down to here to get it done. Let's hook this up. We've got some fairly big rocks down at our farm. So it's going to be, I think we're going to have several trips up with this. The alternative is to hold on to them until we get a trailer, maybe. And do it that way. But at the moment, well, we'll see. We'll see how quickly this gets this job done. But we need to get this back up to the farm now and start getting the rocks off our fields. And back up at the farm, we are going to start with field 17 here. Let's open this up. And somebody said to me in the comments, I should have done the rock picking before we spread the lime because it's easier to see the rocks. To be honest, I'm going to rock pick the entire field. We have so many rocks all over the place here that it just makes sense to do the whole thing. And I was hoping it was going to actually change it so that we got to see brown behind it, but it seems that that's not the case. I was expecting something a little bit different. So we are picking some rocks off the edge here. But I'm going to go around. We can see where we've been, of course, because of the tracks, and we can see some of the rocks. So that is all good, but not quite had the effect I was expecting it to have on here. But you can see where it's been and the change that it's made to the field. We're going to go round and do 2 headland bits down the side here in the same shape that we got them in the first place. We've got a rough idea of where we are. Yeah. And where we're picking up the rocks from this. And then we're going to do straight lines up and down the field after that. And just try and keep ourselves on a little bit more of a regular setup. So let's bring this round. Turning circle is not amazing on this. It really isn't. But we are at least able to get round and get this done. No GPS. I have got the GPS mod enabled on here now. But yeah, this is not a tractor that would have had it. If you get the sun behind you with this lime, you can see that it's actually fairly easy to see where the rocks are. They're appearing pretty nicely in the shadow. The other direction, though, they completely blend in when you're going, unless you get really, really low to the ground. If you can get it low to the ground, you can begin to see them again. But yeah, what you guys said in the comments, absolutely true. Much easier to see the rocks when you are... you can see them there now, but even then, they're covered a little bit in lime, and they are difficult to see against the white of the lime. It's really interesting. There we go. We can see them a bit better there, but the moment you come up to about here, they just get lost in that lime, and it's amazing how well they're camouflaged. But as I said, we are doing the whole field. We're trying to get the lines done as best we can, and we've got 41% off here, so we should get a full tank off this, and we'll run that down to the rock crusher at the end of this field and see how much we make. 86% full. Oh, 87% full now off this fairly small field. We should get this load filled fairly quickly now, I think. And then possibly another couple of loads off the bigger field. The bigger field is 2 to 3 times larger than this one. And we do know that cultivating brought up a lot of stones. So hopefully we're going to make a little bit of cash off this. They should also get rid of the weeds on this field, which would be quite good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the headlands first. We're going to go across because we've got a lot less space to turn around here. So unfold this. But yeah, 90% full off that field. Turn it on, drop it down. And we're just going to go around the extra field area we've got here. It's a little bit rough at the bottom end of this field, but we should still get a good amount off here, and it should work fairly well, I think. Yeah, somebody was asking in one of the previous videos, what is a headland? What is the headland? The headland is the bits at the end of the field. It's the areas where you would normally turn around when you're planting or harvesting or anything like that. Basically, it is the area that it tends to produce a slightly lower yield in real life because it gets a little bit more compacted during working. And you end up with just sort of this 2 to 3 width of your machines at the end here, as you can see we're doing now, where everything gets turned around on, and it's the last thing that you seed and the first thing that you harvest normally. Right, we are full, so let's take this down to the debris crusher and have a look and see how much 2,000 litres of this is worth. A full collector of stone on here is actually quite heavy. It's making the tractor itself a little bit front light, even with the weight that we've got on the front here. And the dual wheels on the back. I mean, even with that, it's still picking the tractor up a little bit. Now, where is this debris crusher? Is it around the back here somewhere? Yeah, there it is. Squeeze around here. There's not really any good path to this. That's all right. So we want to back this up. Try not to drive into the crop too much. Those potatoes, I think those are potatoes. Yeah, those. Ah, it could be that. I've been confusing potatoes and cotton, and it's partly because I can't tell from the ground setup. Let's empty that out. What is this? This is cotton. It is cotton. Right, and in 180 plus another 185 for 2,000 litres. Yeah, this is not going to pay for our destoner by any stretch today. The most we're going to get is maybe 500 euros for this. But, you know, that's not too bad. It could be worse. Finishing off the headlands and getting stuck into the field, we're up to 80% again on our stone picker. It's going to be, as I said before, I think we're going to get a lot of stones off here. We're going to be able to make a nice little amount of money. It's really interesting that the stone picker does not get rid of weeds. So although you're altering the ground state a bit, and certainly when you're going from ploughing with this over the top, it does give you a better seed bed. And if we look out over here and go and have a look at the ground state of our field, You can see it's turned the ploughed to cultivated, but it's not changing the state of the cultivated. Basically, the field is now counted as being fully cultivated, having run the stone picker over it. But in general, it doesn't really make much difference to the ground state other than picking the stones out of it, which kind of makes sense. This is not a weeder. You know, this is there to pick the stones up and push them towards the center. The weeds aren't going to be very affected by that because it's not really picking them up or changing the ground too much. It would be interesting to see the effect it has on plowed land that has weeds on it. I'd be very, very intrigued to see if the weeds disappear from that. But you can see we were on our 4th row up this field, having done our headlands, and we're about to have another full picker. We may even get 2 more off here, but certainly that now needs emptying. And I think for expediency and the fact that we're not making a huge amount of money, I'm going to start making a pile of stones in my yard. There's not really a huge amount of point in going and tipping these for now. Make sure we're clear coming onto here and then bring us around to here. Right, best place to put these pile of stones that's going to be out of our way, I think, is going to be somewhere over the side of our barn, I think. Brilliant. Let's bring this over here. Bring this round here. And we're just going to tip them under this tree here. Perfect. That will create a nice little pile of stones. And then when we eventually get our front loader, we can go here and load them up into a trailer and sell them all at once, rather than wasting a lot of time going back and forth to the debris crusher for not a huge amount of money, and basically putting more time on this picker that is just going to end up costing us money. We're about halfway through the field at this point, and we've emptied our stone picker again. So there was a point at about a third of the way through the field where I was kind of going, oh, I haven't had many stones. I'm wondering if we're really going to fill this again. And then suddenly, as we got about halfway, getting close to this halfway point, the stone picker filled up really quickly. And it's doing the same again here. Now that I've emptied it and come back into the field and refilling it again, we're immediately up to like 22%. So it's filling quite quickly off here. I think we're going to get a 3rd full stone picker off here. Certainly seems to be the most likely outcome of this. And that means we're going to have about 6,000 litres of stone sitting at the farm. That's worth about 500 euros. But I'm not going to worry too much about getting that delivered at the moment. We can do that when we have a clean up of the farm a little bit later and sort that. It's not going to make a massive difference to us right now. We earn that kind of money from our greenhouse. I'm just trying to see if our greenhouse has produced anything today, because of course we put the lettuce there, and yes, we do have, I can see in the distance, a pallet of lettuce that's come out. So it is doing it slower. It's about a quarter of the speed of what we had with the strawberries, but we should have a couple of pallets, I think, of lettuce to go and sell at the end of today as well. Bring in a little bit of cash from that and see how that compares to the strawberries that we sold off at the beginning, which I think we made, it was about 500 euros we made off those. So we're looking to make a similar kind of amount off the lettuce, and we'll see how much that's worth after a day. But yeah, this job here is definitely going to take us the rest of today to get the rest of these stones off here, and we're already up to 40% full with quite a bit of field still to go. Sunset is one of my favorite times of day. The lighting is just utterly amazing. Just trying to keep this on track and not be distracted by that. With the sun going down there and the moon coming up there is just, yeah. What an absolutely amazing view. Look at that. This is gorgeous. Absolutely wonderful. And look at the light coming off the front of our tractor. We have got another full tank, in fact. You can see. So I'm going to drop this off down here and go and tip it. Yeah, I think that's our second full tank off here. No, third full tank off here of stones. So that's 6,000 litres. Yeah, a huge amount of stones. This was a really, really rocky field. We won't, as I said, we'll wait till we get a trailer so that we can properly transport this. And actually, it's saving us quite a bit of time with time that we don't massively have here. I don't want to take this to another day, this rock picker. So we're going to get this finished as it gets dark. But it's, yeah, it really is going into the night. I don't know how late into the night this is going to finish, but we have got another set of rocks. How much harder is it going to be to see where we're picking these rocks with this, now that the sun is pretty much gone and the moon is out? Maybe under the moonlight we'll be able to see a little bit better, but we'll see. Let's unfold this and get this last slither of field finished off, and see how many more rocks we end up getting off it. It's coming up to 8 PM in the evening. The moon is high in the sky, and we are on the last row here, finishing this off. We've got another 850 litres roughly, but that is really well done. We've got a nice empty field now. The job is all job. Let's get into high gear and we can get this down to the bottom and run a little bit faster. This tractor has been a cracking all-rounder so far in here. Has done us really, really well. The purchase has been brilliant, and lots of you in the comments last time going, no, don't replace the Vulture, keep the Vulture. It's a useful tractor, and yeah, I agree with that. It's running everything absolutely wonderfully so far. Everything we want to, even the plow that we had that it was underpowered for, it ran that like a dream as well. How many things of lettuce we got? We've got a single thing of lettuce down here. So what we're going to do is just back this up, get this tipped out, and then we can return this, and it won't charge us overnight for it. So tip that up and we can have a look. Yeah, look, this is our pile of stones. Look like flints a little bit. Get a lot of that in Norfolk. Right, and disconnect that, and we'll go and park our tractor up in the shed over here. I think I might put some gravel across the front of this shed. Rework this a little bit. We've got some concrete coming out a little bit further on this side, but towards the other side of the shed, I think we could possibly do with a bit of gravel placed here. So I think we might do that. Let's return this piece of kit over here. So into here, least, and select and return that. Yes. So that is now gone. And then we'll just pop over here at 8:15 in the evening and have a look at the state of our greenhouse. We've got 83 litres of lettuce in here. Yeah, the lettuce produces at a far slower rate. But we do have a pallet of lettuce here. So next morning, we should have a couple of pallets of lettuce to go and sell. We'll see how much those bring in next time. But this is a pretty good place for us to finish for tonight. So I'm going to leave this here, which means that all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. Please give it a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. And for all the latest videos from Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel, ring that bell, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.